All right. Thank you very much to attending my session. And this is the last session for InnerSource Common Summit in Yokohama. And now I'd like to start my session titled "The Driving InnerSource Way in the Enterprise." And my name is Yoshitake Kobayashi. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Yoshitake. Just call me Yoshi when you're talking in English. And I'm belonging, working for Toshiba, but I also have several hats, leading an open source project, two open source projects, and one project creating Linux for sustainable society. We maintain open source Linux more than 10 years, right? So it's very kind of important project for us, for our society. And I also studied InnerSource activities in Japan as introduced myself. I translated all InnerSource learning paths first, and then after that, Yuki translated all InnerSource patterns. So now we work together at InnerSource Commons Foundations. So this is a kind of story why we study InnerSource. And there is some motivations why I study InnerSource. So from internally, let's say our company as a Japanese traditional company. So we have a very old culture, and if even they have a similar issue, similar challenge, they don't work together. I thought, why then don't do that and do that? So my internal motivation is let's tackle shared challenges together. So this is a kind of interest from my side. But if I look around other companies in Japan, maybe they also have similar issues. But in globally, many companies now try to collaborate a lot to provide a product or services very quickly. So if we continue to have this kind of culture, we lost. So this is a sense of urgency, and why this is why I would introduce InnerSource in Japan. So let me say, driving InnerSource in the enterprise is hard. Maybe you can see here, conditions may apply. So yeah, it's hard, but if you are doing InnerSource effectively, that makes a lot of benefit for us. But before explaining this kind of stuff, I would like to introduce what is InnerSource. Maybe you already expert for InnerSource, but then just would like to mainly mention about that. So the focus for the InnerSource is the practice of applying open source principles inside an organizations. And there is 4 InnerSource principles: openness, transparency, prioritized mentorship, and voluntarily code contributions. And overall, we can just say, open all artifacts, welcome visitors. This is quite nice terminology, I think. And that, originated by Dirk at the InnerSource Summit 2018. But this, when you see these terms, maybe you can imagine something like, okay, now we have many silos inside the company. So when we introduce InnerSource, many collaborations happens. So it's true, but not true. Just introduce InnerSource inside the company, no actions made. So there is many common misunderstanding about the InnerSource. First, misunderstanding is everything must be open. So open all artifacts means something like everything must be open, but to effective inner source benefit, openness should be designed based on whose benefit. Otherwise, nothing happens. And second misunderstanding is inner source is the ultimate goal. So now we have inner source, okay, inner source rules inside the company. Okay, everyone now collaborate now. And third misunderstanding is it's only our source code. Maybe you know. Documentation or template or script, anything reusable, it's will become a part of inner source, I think. And fourth misunderstanding is you need a massive company-wide community. So start from everyone, sometimes makes confusion. So many presenters for today, they also mentioned start small. Yeah, two teams collaboration is already inner source in action. And last misunderstanding is if you open it, contributions will come automatically. No. I should say no. So contribution require clear process, transparency, and psychology safety, and also promoting. Otherwise, no one knows this is open. So that means open all artifacts needs more context. Open widely, but with purpose. So the goal for open all artifacts means ensure when new stakeholders join, there is no barriers or cost to access asset. But then, so recommended practice is make artifacts visible across the company. Something like open for everyone. But this is not ultimate goal. You can also open to some limited community, but if the community is wider than expected, it's already inner source. So, driving inner source in the enterprise is difficult. Now I would like to explain driving inner source way in the enterprise. Let me explain, let me define for this presentation what is the inner source way. And inner source way, I would like to define a practical mindset and approach to solve business and technical challenges. So inner source focusing on what? But inner source way focus on how and why we do it. And the goal is drive successful outcomes. To get that, we should start think about when we have some asset, who's it for? If this asset is just by myself, that is not for inner source. But if some asset may be useful for other persons, that is now considered to open to the company-wide or bound to the other teams. And after open that, openness principle is important. So in ideal, open to everyone is ultimate goal, but you can start a much small community. And third thing, focus on common issues. So if some issues or challenges can be shared to the others, and also they have similar challenges or issues, that can be work together. And last thing in InnerSource Way is beyond code. So focus on the issue is important. This is a kind of InnerSource Way. Start from the start point for the InnerSource Way approach. In the morning, Oitate-san also presented. In his presentation, you can see some triangle. In the bottom, he shows challenges, then solutions, and then implementations. So start from issues that might be common for the others. This is the starting point for the InnerSource Way. So now I'm going to into some case studies I experienced in maybe 15 years. And first, I'd like to say I have experience to promote or to introduce open source software for many kind of products. Start from a letter sorting machine to the industrial controller for power plant. Yeah, I have 60 or more. Why I can do that is I'm introducing open source. I have a common platform for the all Toshiba products, and that was Linux distributions. And when we created our internal distributions, we had a private environment, private repository for data. But when we adapt this kind of distribution to the many departments, they want to copy it. That makes serious issues because, when they copy it, they make modifications and they don't give us a feedback. That makes many dialects. We cannot maintain all of that. So we decided to open it to all departments. And our business unit only needs to make configurations to adapt these distributions. Each embedded systems requires different types of packages. But this list of packages is different. But some, for example, security issue is common. We'd like to share that. So once we open that, they also created their own products by own with business partner. And they also able to give us a feedback. So there is some kind of issues for the transfer pricing or budget or something like that. But this was open source. So when we developed Linux distributions and find some issues, there is an open source community outside the company. And even that product team, they can directly contribute to open source community by making it open for the solutions. That solves issues for the transfer pricing because it's open source. And this is a kind of easiest way, but I know this is really difficult for the internal products. But this types of InnerSource Way approach is quite success inside the company, and I think now still biggest success in Toshiba. So the background was multiple business units requires Linux. This is a common challenge, and we did open it, and we open all bug reports and other cases to open, and then work with open source community to solve many kind of issues. And second approach is the midterm technology development planning. Probably the big company or yes, even small companies will sometimes try to create a midterm plan for 3 years or 5 years, something like that. And our department is kind of a common department to provide common technology to many kind of products. So I thought our midterm plan should be shared to the other business unit. When we discussing, when we discussing for this one, because we can get a feedback from the business unit easily. So I open it first to all business unit, then post something to our corporate SNS, to PR, and after that, many comment on the requirement comes from business unit. So that's really nice. But after that, I have some success stories and failures. From positive side, many feedback from business unit, and that can be improve our plan. And the different perspectives helps us refine priorities or some unknown issues. So that is kind of a good point for that. But negative point is I asked all members to do an InnerSource Way, but they don't know how to do that. And my mistake was I didn't tell enough how they need to act. That makes internal response was very slow. Sometimes over a week without reactions. And even they have this 1 week, they discussing internally. And after they have a solution or they have an answer, then they open it to the business unit. Maybe the reason why is maybe they want, they have some aim to do something. They don't want to change. This is a kind of issues what happens. So that makes that makes less trust from the business unit. And third test case is case study is a technology catalog. So as I said, our department have a common technologies. So I try to open our technology as a catalog, technology catalog. And at that time, I asked all members to write a markdown to introduce your technologies to the company. And they are very familiar with to create repositories, and they can just send us a pull request. So that is quite nice. And I promote technology catalog to all users. And after that, the users sometimes find some issues because our technology is growing again. Sometimes link is broken. So they ask, oh, this link is broken, what happened? I'd like to access this asset or something like that. So that makes improvement for this our technology catalog. So this is an open kind of inner source approach, and also AI-friendly approach, like that. So at that time, I defined a product owner and also trusted committer during our development. That makes a clear role. And when they make some pull requests, they can ask trusted committer for review. And if there is something happens, maybe the product owner also responsible for that. But to make this kind of catalog also takes a time. So I allocated the time for documentations. We use by using internal exhibition time. Our department have internal exhibitions once a year. At that time, they create some kind of panels, and they takes a lot of time to make that. But at that time, I said, if you make this catalog, you don't need it to make a poster or something. We just use this material for internal marketing. We did a lot of webinar instead of the internal exhibition. So that is a kind of success stories or that. And last one is grassroots approach. And probably someone knows MAP. This is a kind of a markdown-based presentation tools. I have a pain point. When I want to create text-based presentations, I don't want to use a PowerPoint. I like to use just some text to make the presentations. This open source map is useful for that. So, but to use this kind of presentation internally to the company, we should align with design, company design. So I created a template for presentations and make it open to the public internally. This is actual one. Just write markdown, and you can receive the presentations. Something like that. So to promote this activity, I try to open it as fast as I can. So I open it during the development, and I going to some poster exhibitions. This is a kind of grassroots poster exhibitions, and promote this approach. Then I find many users. And someone says, "Oh, you make this one. I maybe create this similar stuff 3 years ago." Oh, in that case, please give me a feedback or something. Then I have a community for that. And now it's stable enough. So no many contribution will happen, but I still have some feedback from users. I'm using this template, thank you very much, or something like that. So, from now, I'm going to drive in InnerSource Way in the enterprise, how we make it real. This is an InnerSource Way playbook I created. First thing is define who is it for. And second thing, start small but open, as you know. And third stuff is make it transparent. This 3 steps is very important, and you should follow that. Other 4 to 7 might be useful, but for the if you work just by yourself, keep in mind I need to reply for 48 hours. This is a kind of SLA. And if you're working alone, you are a product owner and trusted committer. But if you're a team, you need to define that. So it's depending on the project. And point 6 is a measure and share metrics. This is important if you want to make this InnerSource product more useful or more more useful, but at that time you need to get budget from the company. So you need to keep you need to track metrics to explain or to convince your boss. And last stuff, yeah, you need to also find some friend or partner to scale the inner source. So this is a playbook for the InnerSource Way. And I also would like to introduce the InnerSource Way in Japan. And my strategy is begin from the InnerSource Learning Path Japanese translations. And I also wrote articles on CodeGene. This is a web media. And I also doing talks at the conference and meetups. So, do you know why I did something like that? In Japan, we have a word, sotoborik arithmetic. Is I difficult to find the right word in English. But if you want to block this castle, moat is have waters, so you need to fill all stuffs. That makes easier. So, like Mitsubishi Electric, now they doing an inner source. Other companies, they also doing an inner source. I should say why we don't use inner source. So this is my strategy to make inner source in there. And there is some role-based actions to drive inner source way. And if you are executives, please allocate a budget for the inner source products. That makes very easy to go next steps. But we usually need, we means I or maybe all of you may need to convince executives. So if you're a manager, please connect teams and share same problems. And once they work together and they get success, easy to convince our executives. And if you are just a member, start small and invite others. Would you like to solve this together with InnerSource Way? That makes small change inside the company. But if you get some success with some metrics, easy to convince your manager. The manager also easy to convince your boss. So I'd like to call actions. Start the InnerSource Way, take one step with the InnerSource Way, think open. Define whose benefit, think open, share a little one, create value beyond your team. Driving InnerSource Way in the enterprise is challenging but rewarding. And maybe you look me, it's fun. So let's think open. And if you find or if you have some success story, please share it to the InnerSource Commons and join our activity. Thank you very much for your attention.